I'm on the edge of a cliff in Ethiopia, I'm riding a bike, and I'm simultaneously flying my drone, and I am totally out of breath. And yes, there are about 20 monkeys in front of me, and yes, I am camping in a place that no tourists have ever been to before. But that, my friends, is not where the story starts. The story starts here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I'm visiting a childhood friend that lives here, and to be honest, I don't know how he does it. The power's constantly out, the traffic is crazy, the pollution is nuts, and at the same time, it's a pretty rad place, and I'll hand it to him. But you know what? I feel like I'm the only traveler in Addis Ababa given the pandemic. And even on the plane I was on, I was the only non-Ethiopian person there. Someone turned and asked me, "What are you?" And let me tell you, I stuck out everywhere. But more on that in another video, because why am I biking in Ethiopia? So I had reached out to every single tour operator to see the sights of Ethiopia, and nobody was doing their normal tours. And instead, all of them were joining forces to do one big tour, and they called it Ride the Rift. The ride was 5 days long, with riding bikes, hiking, and running every day. And when I first signed up, almost nobody was also signed up. And I was scared. I was stalking some of the riders on social media, I know I admit, and they were good. They were all men, and they were all guys that raced in cycling clubs. And in an old life, I was a really fierce cyclist. I raced a lot. I used to do 100-mile bike rides, triathlons. I taught spin classes. But that was an old life. So with a feeling of pure terror, I started working out really hard, spinning every day and getting my legs in shape. And when it was go time, I hopped onto the bus with, there are 50 other people on this trip, and family and kids? Oh, well, awesome. We drove 4 hours north of Addis Ababa, and as I sat on the bus, the landscape was just so different. It was paved roads for a little bit, but not the entire time, and we couldn't actually drive to the campsite because it was too difficult to drive, so we walked. It was a long bus ride, but we made it to the campsite. Camp life was not what I expected it to be. I was expecting something rugged, like peeing in the bushes and freeze-dried food that you warm up with hot water. But it was really supported. I mean, it wasn't the 5-star resort that I was staying in last month in Playa del Carmen, but I was really excited. I mean, look at this. Oh, baby, there's home sweet home right there. I'm moving in. I want to give you a sweet tour of my new home. They even provided a tent and a mat for me to sleep on, and all I had to bring was a sleeping bag and a pillow, and they even built bathrooms. It might be a 20-bedroom, but it's only a 3-bathroom. Hi. Okay, this is where the magic happens. And they also built showers, but standing in the mud with high winds and cold temperatures, attempting to bucket shower was, maybe a little too refreshing for me, so I only did it once to the shower. And yes, don't you worry, your girl brought a lot of deodorant. I've just finished wiping myself down with baby wipes, so shower done. This is so much more amazing than I expected. I was really expecting the worst. Look at my great setup. You know what was hard for me about camp life? 2 things. One was stressing about my electronics. I know it sounds silly, but I wanted to fly my drone, and I had 3 cameras in me to capture this for you. And the second thing? It's really cold tonight. And when I say cold, I mean 30s and 40s, which might not seem so bad, but I'm in a tent, and also the winds are as insane as you see them here. Really, really cold tonight. And those dogs yesterday that were going crazy, they're not dogs. They're hyenas and other animals. Good night. So you think I walked all the way to those bathrooms when I needed to go pee in the middle of the night? Heck no, I'd squat right outside my tent, staring up into a sky of a million stars and listening to the sounds of the hyenas and praying I wouldn't pee on myself given how strong the winds were. I slept very little on this trip, but it wasn't a big deal. Every morning I'd wake up to watch the sunrise, and that was followed by a breakfast of something that was like a PB&J and coffee that tasted like gasoline, eggs if we were lucky, and then we would do a long bike ride and have all kinds of crazy adventures. If you want to hear about the rides, watch the next video, but let's talk about who was on this trip. almost no one was actually from Ethiopia. It was all expats from Italy, from Germany, from the UK, and even someone from my hometown of San Diego. These people were diplomats. They worked for the embassy, NGOs, or other similar types of work, and they all lived in Addis. I was the only visitor. But I was so thankful to not be the only woman.
It's nice to have other ladies on the bike ride because then you can scope out great places like this one to go pee as quickly as you can before others come.
It's pretty barren and open around here, so finding a place to go pee that was sheltered or not near tons of animals was something I became very good at. But I needed those trees because it meant I was exposed to the elements all day. And no, I didn't get lip injections. Sunscreen can only help so much. But you know what? Grab a drink. This is the start of a series. Cheers that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Next up on this party, the bike rides. I'll see ya in the next adventure. Ciao.